What's going on, spiritualites? It's your man Crypto Spiritual here. Welcome back for another video, the weekly recap. And can you hear that? No deep sigh. And that's because technically I didn't take any losses this week. Also, I only took 3 trades and I only won one, but we're still up. And that's the important thing. I'm honestly not sure how I feel about it, but with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right on into it. So here we start the week with Monday, and these are the 2 trades that I took on Monday. First one, thought the long was going to hit the high, and eventually ended up being right. However, price did come down, and by the time I got up into these highs, I decided to go ahead and move my stop to break even. If you zoom in here really closely, my stop loss was 122.96, right? Price reached as low as 122.96. So that was a good idea to cut it at break even. Should have thought maybe get in on this candle, but that's not my strategy. So would never have done something like that. But it did end up peaking here and hitting the high that I thought was going to happen. The second trade, which is going to come up here later in my favorite loss, as you can see, 4 cents away. 4 cents away from a take profit. But I'm not going to stop by that too much. We're just wrapping up the week here. So getting into Tuesday, I was very patient, waited for something to hit. I've got price soaring up and then dropping right back down. So I didn't really want to play those games. Usually you get washed out. So I stayed on the sideline for Tuesday. Didn't really see much. I didn't have off Wednesday, so before work I was really looking for something because I wanted to have more than just 2 trades on the week. I saw that price was breaking down here, and then I was able to get in right here. Price came up, got me in, and then dropped down right there, barely marking my take profit point. Had I waited through all this and it been a little bit further, I still would have gotten it down here. I felt pretty good about that one, but that's going to be coming up later as well in my favorite win. So I felt really good about this win, heading the rest of Wednesday, going into work. Felt good, felt good. I woke up the next morning and actually got to spend some family time. And as you can see, as I'm waking up, prices just straight dumped off anyway. So there weren't too many trades to take when something goes straight down like that. Now, I might have been able to go trade on the retrace up here, but again, decided to take the family time. Moving on to Friday, thought about taking this one here, okay, right before I was going to work. Luckily, I didn't. I did happen to just leave this on here. But as price crossed over past this, right, I thought, okay, maybe I should just kind of move on. And yeah, would not have been a good idea to stay in that trade or try to do anything past this high, as it did come down and try to take these lows down here. So price did not break strongly above this high. Glad I stepped away and just went on about my day. So I was very patient overall this week. I think that's going to be kind of the main theme of this week. And moving into next week, I like the idea. However, I do want to take my 6 trades at least. So below that this week, but a lot of quality trades, which I'm okay with. Okay, so let's take a look at the stat sheet here. Okay, so I've got my 2 break-even trades with 3 cents and ironically 4 cents, which is just how much I missed this. So that was like a TP avoided, you know, rather than like a stop loss hunt. It's like a take profit avoided. I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It missed it by just 4 cents. But anyway, I'll move on. And then we can take a look at our summary. So run rate, I think last week was 15%, and now it is at 17. So creeped up a little bit. Average multiple, again, I'm back at 0 pretty much. I'm back flat. So I'm basically trading even right now. Everything I'm putting in, I'm losing. So not really taking any losses, not really taking any gains. But one interesting thing as I'm doing these weekly breakdowns, we're 9 weeks in, and I've had 4 out of 9 positive weeks. And I think that is something to be said, because if you have more positive weeks than negative weeks, obviously, then those, depending on how much those positive weeks are, those are going to outweigh. And to have less positive weeks than negative weeks, but not by much, and still be even, I think that says something positive about the strategy that I'm using, and that there's going to be opportunity for me to gradually rise. And so it may not be the fastest rise, but I do think I'll go on some very nice streaks. So I'm interested to see how the next 9 weeks go. Okay, so let's go back to my favorite win here, aka my only win. And all my trades were on Solana, by the way, so just feeling comfortable. I think I missed on a couple XRP trades, but okay. My favorite win. This one actually conflicted me a little bit. So let's look at the 15-minute time frame. And so price is getting into what is known as the golden pocket here between 618 and 786 of its previous move here. What I'm thinking is, since we're in a downtrend, at some point it's going to go down. And if I can catch it at the right point, I could ride it down for a little while. Now for me, 2.5 is all I need. But when I drop back down, I noticed I did go a little early here. And so I'm glad it worked out for me, but it could not have, because I waited for this price to be broken. Now it didn't break, it just wicked past it. And while the overarching trend was going down, there's also this trend line that is coming up here. And so it was kind of risky to take this short right above this thing. I don't know, it was some kind of feeling I had or something that I had seen the pattern before, but I had confidence in making this trade. And so a little bit risky, but at the end of the day, had I not changed anything about the trade, sending it out, still would have been able to get in here and get out somewhere around here. So it would have worked out either way, and that's a good thing, I suppose. But waiting for this kind of break to happen is much safer than this kind of gradual decline, because this could have easily reversed, taken out this high, and then decided to come back down. So favorite win because it's my only win, but one of my riskier trades that I could have probably waited. But again, it was before work, so that kind of put a little restriction on me as well. I wouldn't have been around to take a trade here at 1 o'clock. So overall, proud of it. Happy it got me back in the positive. Would I take it again? I don't know. If I got that feeling, maybe, but I'm trying to stay away from the feeling and just stick to the science and the strategies that I have. So most likely not. So let's go to my favorite loss now. And by favorite loss, I mean most hated loss, most manipulated loss, most money market thieves loss. 4 cents. Okay, you can see it for yourself. The low was 123.38. I wanted 123.34. That one hurt. That one hurt because it retraced all the way back. I didn't move my stop loss above any of these highs here because I thought there was some space, but eventually came up here and tapped me out with, ironically, a 4-cent gain. So it's really worked out for me, I suppose. As low as I would have gotten back down to would have been here, and then it would have stopped me out. So I did choose the wrong direction for the time being, it looked like. But yeah, it could have definitely just helped me out with that 4 cents right there. So anyway, we'll move on. Some of the improvements I want to make for next week probably to be to focus more on the 15-minute in a zoomed in way. I was using the 15-minute on such a zoomed out scale. This might as well be the hourly scale, the hourly chart, because I'm using data from last week to determine what's going to happen here in the next few minutes. So I think I really want to focus on zooming in. This is a nice trend to go by. This is like super zoomed out on the 15. Like I said, this would be an hourly chart. This starts on Tuesday, January 13th. And the day that I was taking this trade was Wednesday, January 28th. So it's not really the data that I'm looking for unless we're getting to a super key level. So zooming in and taking the 15-minute and zooming in on what's happening for the day or what's happened in the last couple of days is what I think I need to focus more on, because I can see that this is coming out of a high and we're going up. So regardless of where we may be going up to, we are going up. And so even taking this short here in the middle may not be something I do in the future if I'm looking really zoomed in on the 15-minute, which I plan to do. As far as the mental side of it, some feelings of doubt, that crept in, especially on Tuesday. I was overly patient, and I didn't know if that was just me not being confident or if it was me being smart. I did take some ghost trades that did not work out, which made me kind of gain a little bit more confidence throughout that day. But even on Friday, not being able to find something or was about to force something. So I don't know if that's non-confidence or if that's being smart. I'd like to think of it as being intelligent and holding out to see something better, but I also think that there were probably opportunities that I should have taken advantage of. So moving forward to next week, I think I'll definitely try to ensure that I get those 6 trades. I am unfortunately having to have my wisdom teeth taken out, so that's going to be a pain. I don't know how I'm going to be on that day, so I might not trade for one day. I do get 3 other days, so hopefully I'll be okay and I'll be with it. And with that being said, guys, thanks for checking in with me. And please keep in mind, this is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only. Before you begin investing and or trading your hard-earned money, consider consulting a financial advisor. And just remember, this is the journey, not the highlight reel. Trade smart, live free.